Adonai. Here your beauty dwells, Adonai, for life. Hearts unfold before you. In the light of the sun, in the sky, Adonai.
You know my
This is easy for you. Let me say this to you. You made a huge impact on my life. I was at a weird time in my life. You guys don't get to hear thanks enough. You don't get to see the fruits of your labor enough. I really appreciate you.
Do you remember what I told you? I said to you, I know you think you're a tiny little man right now because you were so little. And I said, I promise you, those big, gorgeous eyes of yours, those long eyelashes are going to get you beautiful ways. You need to stay as kind and gentle as
And
you
they
are.
got me.
I know, it worked!
It worked.
It worked!
You're so
I love
precious.
you.
Thank you. There's so many more like me, even if they don't come back and say thank you. We really, really appreciate you. Life well lived. This is my wife.
So nice to meet you.
And my little son, Peanut Grant. There you go. His name's really not
Come here,
Peanut.
Mr. Grant.
Grant.
I see you on Facebook all the time. We're 6th graders, and this is Brock.
Noah?
Noah. And this is Brock Lawley that I had when he was in 6th and 8th grade.
Many years
Many
ago.
years ago. And his beautiful wife.
Yes. Here's the thing that's interesting about this situation. I had severe dyslexia, and I ended up making a career in media.
I know, it's
in
crazy.
journalism.
Yeah, it's
No, it's
crazy.
not crazy. It's a testament to you guys. I mean, it really is. Stuff like you can't be totally bogged down in your situation. You gotta keep working at it. And I had a really weird situation. I don't know if you remember this. They had put me in, you guys were starting this Discover class.
Yeah, you're gifted.
Well, I think I was a glitch in the system.
No, you were definitely not a little sister.
Check this out. This is what actually happened. I was in that class some of the time, and then some of the time I would come to what they actually called at the time was the resource room.
Because when he was in 6th grade, he's like, how can this be? How can I be this and this? And I would explain, and I see what happens is when you're gifted, your achievement has to be even higher than a child who has an average of an IQ. And I said, your intellectual ability goes over your chronological ability, then you divide it. So his intellectual ability was well above his chronological, so he's gifted in that way. But he also, because of dyslexia, caused a learning disability. But because your IQ was so high, you had to test achievement-wise above that 100, which a normal child would test.
Yeah,
but I remember he would be so confused.
everything.
And then he had a little sprinkling of ADD in there, tiny.
I did.
Do you remember when you wore the, do you remember? Painted of a guy. And he had these giant blue eyes with these eyelashes that came out like to here. And I said to you, don't you worry, baby. What you got, you don't have to ever worry about. The women are gonna love it. And then this one came along too.
And you probably had most of my
I did. I had your sister.
John had.
I had all of them kids.
When did you graduate?
A long time ago.
What I remember about you is, think about this. So you have the learning disability. You have, on top of that, you have this stage of life which is so weird. You know, your body's changed. It's just the worst thing. And then you have all that other sort of, in my case, I got lucky because I had 2 good parents, but the average person might not.
Right.
So you got all that emotional baggage. And I remember the 3-dimensional education that you gave me, which was you diagnosed my particular problem, important, helped me work through that in a practical sense, and then sort of said, look, it's not always going to be like this.
Correct.
But you're going
I'm so glad
to, people don't hear that.
But we do. We keep saying those things. I tell teachers, I say, they're not going to remember that we taught them algebra. And I tell my kids that you're not going to remember these little things that you don't even remember that you said to them. But they're so powerful, and you have to just keep saying those positive things.
That's the skill set that people don't recognize in teachers. That, you know, for example, if that skill set could shoot a 3-point shot, you guys would be paid millions and millions.
Right, exactly.
It's a very specific skill set.
Right.
Here, we can do this reading exercise. All these things, but I wouldn't have been able to read.
Right.
Or I would have been able to, that would have turned into frustration, likely would have turned into crime. I mean, I don't even know. You know, you can just see how that can.
In the light of the sun, fill the sky. I don't know.
She was such a wonderful teacher. I decided to come back and thank her for what she did in my life. I got to do a lot of really, really neat things, and I think it was because she was such a good teacher. I wanted you to know that because I think for some reason she's your teacher. I really appreciate you. Big impact on my life. Your work matters.